Am I the butthole for kicking my girlfriend out in the middle of her capstone project for graduate school, jeopardizing the future of her degree? Just from reading the title of this post, I can already sense the conflict within this guy. Okay, let's have a look. I, 21 male, am a twin. We can call my brother Matthew for anonymity's sake. To get ahead of some of the most commonly asked questions, we're identical. We do things in sync sometimes, but I don't know if it's any more common than two people who just spend a lot of time together and adopt each other's mannerisms. I would absolutely say that the twin intuition thing is real. We have two older brothers and I love them, but I'm not as close to them as I am Matthew. We have never been away from each other for longer than maybe 3 days. We don't technically live together, but we stay in the same apartment building for college and often just fall asleep at each other's places. And where do you sleep when you stay at his or he stays at yours? Do they just sleep in the same bed? Or I'm a bit confused, but maybe it's a twin thing where you don't, have the time, patience or energy to go up the stairs and back into your own bed. But okay, let's keep going. My girlfriend, 24F, and I have been long distance for basically our entire relationship. I'm busy with school and the music me and Matthew work on together. She lives about 2 hours away and is busy with her job and her grad program. To make a long, somewhat confusing explanation short, she's staying with me for the summer, working shorter hours remotely while she fulfills an in-person grad school requirement at the university I currently attend. Most of her grad program has been online. This section is not. It's her capstone project, and doing it during the summer basically means she's doing it in double time, so she really has to buckle down and work. I get that. Still, the way she's been treating my brother isn't cool with me. She often rolls her eyes and shuts herself in our guest bedroom when she comes home and sees that he's over. We smoke together and mess around on guitars together while we work on music, things she used to be fond of but now seems to hate. The final straw came last week when I got a phone call while I was out of her freaking out. She had refused to let my brother in the apartment, so he used the key I had given him, and she lost it. She said her boundaries weren't being respected and that I needed to kick him out. Instead, I told her she needs to leave. She's furious, saying she can't find somewhere else to stay on such short notice, and I'm messing up the most important class of her life, saying I'm too codependent on my brother and that I should have never told her she could stay when I knew she needed to work and I wasn't allowing her to do so. Am I the butthole? Yes, you are. However, I can see where this is going, because if you think about it, you've got your own personal space, boundaries, routines and habits that you would follow from day-to-day basis. You're trying to be accommodating to your girlfriend by allowing her to stay with you so that she can get some work done, but at the same time, she feels that she can't have her own boundaries respected if you're just doing what you normally do. And let's just face it here, isn't it not a bit weird that you're not home, your brother's trying to get into the apartment when she's trying to do some work? The closer a looming deadline gets, then surely the more stressful it will become, especially when you think that, oh, I'm going to get the afternoon to myself, and then, here's the twin brother who doesn't have the same personality as you, may rub her the wrong way at the best of times and she's been tolerating it, but obviously she's had to be in close proximity with him due to your situation. But all that aside, why would he use his key after she denied him entry to the flat? What is that about? Did he leave his guitar? Was there something really important that he needed while you were not present? What is the reason he needed to be alone with your girlfriend? It's just that something about this story doesn't add up. Anyway, you've been a butthole here. You may not be a butthole as a person, but this is definitely a situation where you need to look at her point of view as much as your own. Once you invite someone into your apartment and say, treat it as your own, go and get your work done. I know you've got to buckle down. You even said that you know and you get it, but I'm not entirely convinced that you did appreciate the gravity of her own situation. Perhaps there could be some blame shifted back to the girlfriend if she was already aware of your weird and bizarre wonderful relationship with your brother in terms of him coming in and out and expecting that to somehow change for her university project. I have no idea, but if she had no idea how interlinked your brother and yourself truly were, then you can maybe understand such an extreme reaction. Am I the butthole for being rude to a neighbor? I, 30s female, go to the grocery store once a week. Every couple of weeks or so I buy a 24-pack of beer. Last Friday I came home with said 24-pack and was heading across the parking lot to go up to my apartment. Near the stairs, one of the neighbors stopped me and said something along the lines of, I shouldn't be drinking it. I just looked at her and said, I don't remember asking your opinion. She got the shocked Pikachu face but didn't say anything else, so I just walked away. I later told my partner and my sister about it. They both said I should apologize. So, am I the butthole? Should I apologize the next time I see her? Edit. Sorry guys, I had to go to work after posting. Couple of things I've seen. No, it wasn't Bud Light. I do have a bit of a pooch, so yes, it's possible possible she thought I was pregnant. Also, I live with my partner and sister. We all drink the beer. It's not just me drinking the whole 24-pack by myself as some people are assuming. I don't even know where to start with this one, because if someone comes up to me and gives unsolicited advice like that, it's a shut your mouth right there and then. It doesn't matter if it's a neighbour or not. Unfortunately, because it is a neighbour, I can see why your partner wants to keep things on an even keel, and the fact that you've told two people that both have said to you that you should apologise, that should put further pressure on the situation, but it doesn't, because of this. Your neighbour made an assumption, a wrong assumption, and it's actually their fault what happened. But there's something more important at play here, and that is that I think there's a happy ending for everyone, in that you could go back to them and apologise for reacting in the way that you did, because you're not keen on receiving unsolicited advice like that. You could even throw in the fact that it's not as if I'm pregnant or anything, and that would definitely do it. There's something else I think is worth saying. I read this book recently by Robert A. Johnson. It's called Owning Your Own Shadow, and it talks very much about balancing our life. So if you imagine it, for every good element that there is, you grab a fruit of creativity, you're also grabbing a fruit of destruction at the same time. So you're balancing good and bad like a seesaw, or I think you call it a teeter-totter in USA, and that there is a shadow side to everything. It's not necessarily bad, but it's a suppressed side. So if something is going well and the pendulum swings towards good, you're supposed to acknowledge the shadow side to balance it all out again. And if you don't, then this exact scenario is described, that you'll end up snapping at someone. That's not to say you were having a fantastic day before you got home with the beer, it's just that apparently this is how it manifests. I thought it was an interesting book nonetheless. So while your reaction may have been thought to be butthole-ish, I don't think it was at all. That is just how you reacted at the time, given the situation and the circumstances in front of you, and whether or not you apologise should be 100% down to you and how you feel your interrelationships are in general and with your neighbours. I know I have to see my neighbours nearly every single day, so I know I would choose to apologise for the tone, but not my stance. Either way, for me, you are not the butthole. Am I the butthole for not wanting to meet my twin or have anything to do with his family? My 18 biological parents got pregnant very young. I won't elaborate. For some reason, they decided they could raise one kid, but not two. I was put up for adoption and my parents have given me a great life. I will be going to university this fall and my grandparents are paying for it. Not all of it, as I got a scholarship. I'm not trying to brag. My family has helped me achieve, and I would not be where I am without them. I recently turned 18, and my twin was finally told I exist and got a hold of me. I'm not interested in meeting him or his family. I don't know how they chose him over me, and I don't want to know. I have a family that has never once treated me as unwanted, and I think I would be spitting in their face to have anything to do with those people. My family understands, but my twin thinks I'm a butthole for not wanting to meet him or my biological parents. Am I the butthole? Here's the way I look at it. You have spent your entire life feeling that your parents discarded you in some way. I found the better family that actually raised you the way you wanted. Your life is going extremely well. The trajectory looks fantastic. You got scholarship going on, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, bang, they want to get involved. Your other twin is interested, and you're not ready for that, and that's totally okay. You shouldn't have to be ready for it. This is the stage you are at in your life. One thing I would say is, you're talking about how you'd be spitting in the face of your family that actually did raise you, and there's a sense of honor in there. I don't think that should have anything to do with it, but how can you separate that given the fact that you'll feel extremely loyal for everything they've done? And if you're not ready to meet your twin, and maybe you'll never be ready, then that's your choice, and that is absolutely fine. The only butthole here is anyone who's expecting you to suddenly just come to heel because they have snapped their fingers and said, I want to meet you, let's meet. The only thing I would say is to not shut a permanent door on something that may be open in the future. Very hard to do so because you feel right now in a very good place, so why bother ever saying that you're going to meet them? I know, but my own personal feeling would be to say, at this stage of my life, I'm not ready. Dealing in the absolutes of never, don't contact me again, I don't want anything to do with you guys. Quite a strong stance to take, and maybe one that you might 180 on later, but maybe not. Maybe they'll come back to you later on and probe again. Is it okay? Can we meet now? You could then, if you still feel the same way, saying, hey, I'll call you, you don't call me. For many people, they will reach a stage in their life where they actually do want to confront their parents and then ask them what on earth drove them to that decision. Other people, they get on absolutely fine and live better for the knowledge that they've been driven with their own steam guiding their path. My opinion, not the butthole. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Toss a like to the haggis and maybe subscribe for daily content if you want some more, and leave your comments below. Tell me how wrong or right I am, and maybe give me some of your own stories as well. That'd be great. Catch you on the next one. Later.